On a quiet weekday evening in Tokyo, a single death briefly disrupted the rhythm of one of the busiest transit systems in the world. The cameras failed at the exact moment they were needed most, and witnesses who claimed to see something disappear. From the record, the official ruling, delivered with bureaucratic calm, categorized the incident as an accident, with no criminal intent suspected and no further investigation required. For most, the event dissolved into rumor, an unfortunate but unremarkable occurrence. Yet, the more closely the case is examined, the less comfortable that conclusion becomes. Small inconsistencies and fragments of memory refuse to align with the narrative being presented. Some recalled the sound of raised voices before the incident. Others remembered a sudden movement near the edge of the platform that did not resemble a stumble. A few claimed the victim had been standing well back from the tracks, engaged in an intense conversation. According to the initial report, the individual fell onto the tracks just as the train was entering the station, leaving the driver no time to react. This was described as a tragic misstep, possibly influenced by fatigue or distraction. In a city where surveillance is extensive, the expectation was that video footage would clarify what human memory could not. Cameras line platforms, monitor entrances, and record every arriving and departing train. Yet, when requests were made for footage covering the minutes before the death, officials stated that cameras in that specific section were undergoing maintenance. Other cameras were said to have malfunctioned or produced corrupted files. This coincidence strains credibility, as no complete recording of the incident has ever been publicly released. What little footage exists begins after the critical moment, showing only the aftermath. Witness testimony, which could have provided another layer of insight, proved equally elusive. Several individuals who initially spoke to local media recounted details that complicated the idea of a simple accident. However, their statements were never formally included in the final report. Some later declined to comment further, while others could not be reached at all, their names absent from official documents. One witness claimed police interviews felt rushed and narrowly focused, as though the outcome had already been decided. They described an atmosphere not of investigation, but of confirmation. The timeline itself raises further questions. The train operator reported seeing the individual only a split second before impact, yet other accounts suggest a longer interval during which something unusual was unfolding. Family members, informed of the ruling within days, expressed confusion over how quickly the case was resolved. They were told there was no evidence of foul play and no justification for reopening the investigation. Requests for additional documentation were met with delays, and when records were finally provided, they were heavily summarized, lacking the granular detail one might expect in a death occurring under such public circumstances. What makes the case particularly unsettling is not the presence of overtly suspicious elements, but the absence of reassuring ones. Each individual gap might be defensible, but together they form a pattern of omission. In recent months, the story has resurfaced on international forums and social media platforms, where users dissect timelines and compare the incident to other unexplained deaths in transit systems around the world. This renewed attention reflects a broader anxiety about the systems we rely on daily, and the assumption that when infrastructure fails, accountability will follow. When an event defies explanation, trust erodes. It is important to acknowledge what is not known, and perhaps never will be. There is no definitive evidence that the death was anything other than an accident, no confirmed proof of interference or intent. The unanswered questions do not point in a single direction, and speculation, while tempting, risks obscuring the very uncertainty that makes the case so compelling. What remains is a void where clarity should be. The station itself continues to operate as it always has. Thousands of people passing through the exact spot each day, most unaware that anything unusual ever happened there. Perhaps the most haunting aspect is not the possibility of hidden wrongdoing, but the ease with which ambiguity can be absorbed into routine, how quickly an unresolved story can be smoothed over by efficiency and time. The absence of answers becomes normalized, the lack of footage explained away, the missing witnesses forgotten, until what once felt troubling begins to feel inevitable. And yet, the questions remain, suspended between what was recorded and what was lost, between an official conclusion that offers closure and a reality that refuses to settle into it. In a city defined by precision and control, this single moment of uncertainty continues to resonate, a reminder that even in the most carefully monitored spaces, there are still shadows where explanations fail and where silence, rather than truth, becomes the final word.